Actually, in my story, he didn't see me. It's always her that's making it hot. You seen her. You turn around.
Hot tea.
All right, so y'all know Joe went out to the Knicks game and he ran into one of his old buddies, 50 Cent, who he had been recently going back and forth with online. Let's see what Joe had to say about this situation on the podcast this week. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Let's get it.
I almost wish you could call Fat Joe to give his version of what happened.
That would be great.
I don't know if I want to hear Skinny Joe's version of the story.
I don't know about Skinny Joe. I need Fat Joe's assessment.
Yo, this is just hilarious already. I had such a great night last night. Last night was great.
Yeah. Got out of there. So
I did watch like towards the end of the game, and he was no longer there. And that's why I was like, I wonder how things really went, like behind the scenes.
You left in the middle of a nail biter?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a close game, fam.
It was.
I don't know. Yeah.
Don't say nail biter to me.
Yeah.
Ever again. Here we go. We sit down. Cool. We sit there, and ain't nobody sitting in front of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then Fat Joe comes in with his daughter, and they sit down.
Shout out to Fat Joe.
Shout out to Fat Joe.
Shout out to Joe.
So me and my girl start talking about the Bottega outfit that Fat Joe got on. But in my head, I say, now the last few times I've seen Fat Joe in the garden, he has been directly next to 50 Cent. And I say, wouldn't that be funny? If those are it's only 2 seats left. They right in front of us. Those are the only 2 empty ones. And sure enough, as God would have it, 50 comes in. And my man, I'm breaking freeze right now. Yeah, Eve, shout out to Eve. So I dap Eve, and 50 just sit down, but he don't see me. But his man sees me, but he don't see me. And Fat Joe knows I'm here, but he don't see me. All right, the game started. We watching. Fuck it. We watching the game now.
Were you quiet? Not cheer.
No.
Not cheer too loud.
Your stomach was talking.
I was about to say his heart was pounding. He couldn't hear nothing. He couldn't hear the game.
Hey, his heartbeat sound like Sasquatch.
Right, exactly. Marv Albert turning around and shit. Like, what the fuck is that?
Did you change your
Somebody
yelling
let
voice?
some doves in the building?
Now you have a decision to make in this moment, right? Because contrary to whatever the internet is saying, I don't think there's a problem. So when he sit down, I want to grab him by his shoulder and say something to him.
Didn't do that though.
Only because my girl is here.
Sure.
That is the only reason that you just look too pussy, right? Doing that. Corey, you want your clothes in?
How?
Corey
How's
can't
that
help
pussy?
himself.
What?
If that's your normal thing.
No.
Yeah, look, if people think y'all got beef and then you like, hey, buddy.
Yeah, nah.
You don't look pussy in
Every
general.
camera in the world is on in here.
Yeah.
Every celebrity is out.
And you right there.
Your girl is here.
Right.
We buy Thibodeau.
You're not
nigga.
underneath the basket or something where you could be
Yeah.
out the way a little bit.
When he see me, he'll see me and we'll kick it. We'll chop it.
Right.
But to do the extend shoulder, hey, I'm right behind you. It's the pussiest shit I've
Listen to
heard.
the toxic masculinity.
That is the pussy. I don't care what you
Go
say.
ahead,
That to me, what y'all think?
Oh, I don't think that. If that's your norm, and that's something I normally do, you and 50 Cent ain't beefing.
Of course we not beefing.
Of course. So if that's your normal thing, like if it would have been none of this stuff happened, and he walked in and he sat down and he didn't see you, you'd have been like, yo.
No, I wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't. I don't do that.
That's all right.
When I'm outside, I'm not the initiated, be seen guy. I'm
You're
really low.
sitting right
But that's
by-
not
go
important.
ahead.
That's a
Keep
real
going.
life thing.
Yeah,
It don't matter right
yeah.
now. So I'm not doing that because my girl is here and we not pussy.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I
What
wouldn't
you
do
talking
that.
about? And then what happens? Oh, so now this is why it's funny. Because there's famous levels in the garden.
For sure. You were level 2.
I'm not level 2. I'm a different
He's
level.
in row 2. He's level like 5.
Oh,
Nah, he might be like 3.
Don't do that. Don't try to.
You 3.
3 is fair.
You level 3.
I say it to say, my garden experience is never being the famous guy in the garden.
They'll
sitting
put
in
you
the
on the
front
little celebrity
with the
shit?
pictures. No, y'all hear me talk. I come in here and talk shit, saying I'm more famous than half of them little white kid actors they be putting up there. But it's not about that, and I'm low. So Fat Joe and 50 Cent being in front of me means that this is about to be a different thing. And it's some black people in this garden that know me, so they know what this situation is.
okay.
So they look at So every time the little white lady come over to Fat Joe and 50 Cent with some big time celebrity shit, there's black people around. I see it. What's going on? Cool. So I say to my girl, yo, if they come over here with that celebrity camera shit, I'm repping my set. Because I have to. I have to, just because it's here. She said, don't you dare do that shit. This shit gonna be all over the internet. I said, I have to do it. And sure enough, they came over. And I looked, and I said, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. And then, and 5 minutes after that, I think he seen me after that. Well, actually, in my story, he didn't see me. It's always her that's making it hot. He seen her. He turned around. And he said, oh, shit, Joe. And then we spoke. The nature of the conversation will remain between
You
us.
apologized
But
and
we
kept it pushing.
Please, sir.
No.
Not tonight.
We had a good talk.
Just to the start of the 4th. Just let me stay to the start of the 4th.
Please, sir.
Get this shit off. Have fun.
Not in front of my girl, please.
Not in front of my kids, Gus. Not in front of my kids.
Texting Fat Joe on the low, like, yo,
Right.
you can make us cool.
Oh, shit.
That nigga that called Lloyd Banks, everybody. Hey, Banks.
Yo, y'all are so dumb. But it's fun. So now, but wait now, because before any of this even happens, nigga, when I tell you my phone is on absolute fire in here, my phone is buzzing in a way that it's never buzzed before with people that I didn't even know watched basketball. Everybody is up. My aunts is up. The children is up. Your 5-year-old nephews is up watching. Your brothers is watching. Everybody is watching this game. I'm like, oh, they definitely got us on.
Yeah, you was trending on Twitter.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
You was trending all night. Like that's how I saw it. Did you see 50's Instagram post later?
I saw it at the game.
Oh, okay. He posted at the
I saw it at the game.
Yeah, I thought. So that's
Oh,
why
he ain't wait to
That was,
leave.
that was after our talk. After we talked.
Okay, yeah. The way because
But it was a really good talk. It was a great talk.
You felt safe after the talk.
I felt safe before the talk.
Oh, okay.
because the post was I seen Joe.
He
told
said,
me,
I don't need therapy
I don't need
no
therapy
more.
no more. But it sounded to my ears was like he ain't say basically he ain't say I need therapy in person. You know what I mean? So
That's how I took it.
yeah, so people took that. I think people gonna read that post and think that like,
He was the shrink.
yeah.
Joke.
Joe's this big.
Jokes aside, because 50 is who he is before he got here, right? So his reputation precedes him. So we know why we treat these matters with a certain level of sensitivity. However, he's also a genius behind this internet stuff.
For sure.
So I always look at the internet shit as him doing internet shit.
Right.
And being a master of that. And that's it. And that's it.
Yeah,
At no
he
point-
manages to stay relevant regardless of whatever the hell's going on.
And I've had this talk with him in the past, right? Like, I think some people don't know that him and I have other ties. Him and I have gone through things in the past.
For
this internet
20
shit,
years.
This internet
Niggas caught
stuff
you over there
now
at that Target.
niggas is up. Well, yeah, Target, the hookah spot. Like, I always bump into him in the most random and unexpected of places. But anytime I've ever seen him, it's been a great talk. It's been a great talk. Oh, and back to this leaving at the end of the game, because I see this is a thing.
Yeah.
And Mark is new, so he don't know. I'm gonna leave before the game is over.
In a playoff game,
It's a nail biter.
It wasn't a nail biter.
It was an elbow.
It was not a nail biter. By the time we left, we had missed the shot that would bring us within 4. We was down like 5 or 6 with 2 minutes left. It looked.
You don't think being down 5 in a playoff game is a
5
winnable
with 2
game?
minutes left, and y'all was going body shot for body shot.
That's not what was happening in that fourth
I
quarter.
watched the whole game, bro.
Okay. then
I didn't
we-
see the game, so
then-
I
I
can't
did.
say.
That was a
we
close ass
interpreted
fourth quarter.
differently.
Close fourth quarter.
I would have left under normal circumstances. I'm leaving with 5 minutes left on the clock. I stayed.
I do that
I
too.
stayed longer.
Yeah.
You stay there too long, and that block to get up to the Lincoln Tunnel, you'll be
sure.
there. You'll be there for an hour. I'm leaving. I'm always leaving.
See, I'm not in a playoff.
I'm never staying to the end of a game.
Nah, I'm not.
Summer jam, concert,
Movies.
strip club, movies.
Movies?
Yeah.
Movies?
I'm leaving early.
All right, so after that, they started talking about the Knicks game, and it was a good game. Shout out to my Detroit Pistons. Hey, I think we might take out the Knicks, but that's a different conversation. Now, I took a couple of notes. Number one, Joe said he didn't reach over to 50 to say, hey, everything is cool, because he didn't want to look soft in front of his girl. Now, I'm here to ask y'all, if Joe would have tried to kumbaya with 50 as soon as he sat down, do you think that would have been soft looking in front of his girl? I remember Axe said, you know, when your girls start to make situations like that look hot, it's like she trying to see if you really coochie or not, okay? She trying to see if you really pussy, okay? And it's funny when Joe says, you know, my girl kept making it hot. And unfortunately, when you do have an attractive female you with, because see, I caught this part too. He said 50 turned around to look at his girl. And so when your girl look good, it might put you in that situation. So who knows if Joe wasn't with his girl, if 50 would have turned around and caught him. Now, eventually, maybe, but he was sitting directly behind 52. You see what I'm saying? So it's a good chance if he would have looked behind him, he might not have seen Joe. You know, when you look directly behind you, you got to do a full 360. You see what I'm saying? Like you trying to crack your back or something. So he wanted to see Joe's girl and then was like, oh, that's Joe's girl. And then, you know, was like, oh, you here with Joe. So I don't know if Joe was overhyping that moment. I don't think his girl would have thought anything because look, Joe, you a very successful man, in a good position. I think your girl know you the prize, okay? Now, yeah, could she get somebody else who's successful? Sure. But y'all look like y'all got a strong relationship going and you not going broke no time soon. So, you know, sometimes you got to look soft in front of your girl, okay? It's not the end of the world, okay? But they started talking about whether or not in that conversation that he had with 50, did Joe apologize? And that is something to bring up. When they had that conversation, who do y'all think said sorry first? Do you think 50 kind of iced it down and was like, yeah, you know, it's just the internet? Or do you think Joe was like, oh, yeah, I don't think you need therapy? But that's something we'll never know. If you ask me, I think 50 was the one to tell Joe it's just the internet. You ain't got to take it so serious. I think 50 is one of those dudes that tries to play you like you doing too much. Hey, man, you doing a little too much. It's for the internet, man. You know, we just playing around. You ain't got to be on the podcast getting all mad, turning all red and stuff like that, especially when it's a light-skinned dude. I can see 50 being like, it ain't that serious, man. You ain't got to be so light-skinned, that type of ish. You know what I'm saying? So I think 50 might have kind of said sorry first in a like cool hood New York type of way. I feel like Joe is very petty. I feel like Joe would have spoke, but does that mean he has to say sorry or apologize? I don't think Joe is as soft as a lot of y'all on the internet think. Okay, that's just my opinion. And I don't think Joe looked scared either. I don't think he looked afraid. I don't think he looked uncomfortable. He was laid back, arm up around his girl. He looked like he was stress-free to me. And y'all, did y'all notice he said, I felt safe before the talk. So he said, I felt safe after the talk and before the talk. So I was like, okay. And he also mentioned that they've done this before. And I think I do remember, did Joe get into it with G-Unit as a whole? I think I kind of remember that, but I'm not surprised when it comes to these New York dudes. All of them have had some type of back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe had a situation with Fabulous before, Jim Jones, Cam, any of them dudes, right? Of course, we know recently Joe and Jim kind of got into it on the podcast tip, but I'm just saying in general, yeah, when they was all young rappers running into each other, I'm sure it was situations at clubs, strip clubs, whatever, where, you know, things had to get hashed out. So yeah, I'm sure they've had a little friction before and it got settled, and maybe this was no different, you know, just a little back and forth online, even though Joe was talking about getting the lawyers involved. And remember, 50 said, yeah, we had some dudes run Joe out of the club. So I don't know. And that brings me to Joe leaving early. And if he didn't live in New York, I would look into that a little bit more and say, okay, maybe Joe was a little scared. He was going to run into some of them dudes after the game. But look, it's New York. The traffic in New York is known for being crazy. And look, anywhere where there's an event, people try to rush out early to avoid traffic. Even here in Detroit, when they have events at the Little Caesars Arena, people trying to get out of there early to avoid heavy traffic coming from downtown. Anywhere where y'all are watching this video, I'm sure it's the same at any like stadium or theater and things of that nature. People try to leave early to avoid traffic. I'm not mad at Joe for doing that. But the last part I want to add in is, remember Joe said 50 posted that on Instagram while they were still at the game. And that made me think a little bit too. Is it really squashed? Are we going to see 50 and Joe throwing jabs at each other on their respective platforms? I don't know, but a very interesting moment for two New York legends, two rap legends. Let me know what y'all think about this. Like the video and subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.